What if the only thing standing between you and victory is you? Welcome to ZenLite8, where we uncover the timeless Stoic secrets to winning in life, no matter the odds. In today's video, we're diving into 13 powerful principles that will transform your mindset, crush your excuses, and unleash the unstoppable winner inside you. Ready to take control and claim your success? Let's jump in. Victory is a choice. Have you ever caught yourself staring at a dream, whispering, "It's just too hard," or "Maybe I'm not meant for this"? We've all been there, standing at the edge of something great, only to let fear or doubt pull us back before we even try. But here's a truth that can set you free. Winning in life isn't about waiting for the stars to align or hoping luck knocks on your door. It's a choice, a bold, daily decision to rise above your fears, silence your excuses, and step into the arena of your own potential. Welcome to the heart of Stoic wisdom, where victory isn't handed to you. It's claimed through the fire of your resolve. Picture this. You're at the starting line of a race, heart pounding, the crowd roaring. The finish line feels miles away, and every fiber of your being screams, "What if I fall? What if I'm not fast enough?" Now, imagine choosing in that moment not to run faster than everyone else, but to run anyway. To choose courage over comfort, action over hesitation. That's what the Stoics meant when they said your attitude shapes your destiny. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Every time you decide to push forward, despite the weight of uncertainty, you're not just moving toward a goal, you're forging a version of yourself that refuses to be defined by limitations. Let's get real for a second. Life doesn't play fair. It throws curveballs, missed opportunities, harsh criticism, or days when you feel like you're climbing a mountain with no peak in sight. But here's the game changer. Those challenges don't decide your outcome. You do. Think of someone like Thomas Edison, who failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. Each failure could have been a reason to quit, but he chose to see them as steps toward victory. What if you looked at your own setbacks that way? What if every no you hear, every stumble you take, is just life asking, "Are you serious about winning?" Choosing to say yes in those moments isn't just defiance. It's a declaration of who you are. This choice isn't a one-time deal. It's a habit, a muscle you build every day. Maybe it's waking up 30 minutes earlier to work on that passion project, even when you're exhausted, or speaking up in a meeting when your voice shakes. It's showing up for yourself again and again, because you know that victory isn't about being perfect, it's about being persistent. The beauty of this mindset is that it's yours to claim, no matter where you're starting from. You don't need a fancy degree, a big bank account, or anyone's permission. All you need is the courage to decide, right now, that you're worth fighting for. And here's the thing. Choosing victory doesn't mean you'll never doubt yourself again. It means you'll learn to dance with those doubts, to let them fuel your determination instead of stopping you cold. So, my friend, what's it going to be today? Will you let fear write your story? Or will you grab the pen and start crafting a tale of triumph? Because if victory is a choice, then your greatest rival isn't out there. It's the version of you that's afraid to try. Speaking of rivals, let's dive deeper into the one battle that matters most, the one against yourself. Your greatest rival is yourself. Let's take a moment to get honest, brutally, beautifully honest. Have you ever felt like the world is conspiring against you? Maybe it's a boss who overlooks your efforts, a friend who doesn't get your dreams, or just life throwing one obstacle after another. It's easy to point fingers outward, to blame circumstances for holding you back. But deep down, if you listen closely, there's a quieter truth whispering. Your greatest rival isn't out there. It's the voice inside your head, the one that says, "You're not enough," or "Why even try?" Welcome to the battlefield of the mind, where the Stoics believed the real fight for victory begins, and where you can learn to conquer yourself. Imagine your mind as a stage, lit up with two actors vying for the spotlight. One is bold, hungry for growth, ready to chase your dreams with fire in its heart. The other, it's sly, comfortable, whispering excuses like, "Tomorrow's a better day," or "You'll just mess it up." These two versions of you are locked in a tug of war, And here's the kicker. You're the referee. You decide who gets to take center stage. Marcus Aurelius nailed it when he said, "The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts." Every time you let that fearful voice win, you're handing over your power. But every time you choose the bold one, you're stepping closer to the person you're meant to be. Let's paint a picture. Think back to a time you wanted something fiercely. Maybe a new job, a creative project, or even a healthier you. You started strong, full of energy, but then that inner critic crept in. "You're not qualified," it sneered. "You've failed before." Suddenly, the goal felt like a mountain too steep to climb. I've been there too. I remember wanting to start a blog years ago, dreaming of sharing stories that could inspire. But every time I sat down to write, that voice would hiss, "Who's going to read this? You're no writer." For months, I believed it. I let fear dress up as logic, and it kept me stuck. Sound familiar? Here's the truth the Stoics want you to grab onto. Those doubts? They're not facts. They're just thoughts, and thoughts can be changed. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." That moment when you feel like giving up, that's not a signal to quit. It's an invitation to fight harder. The next time that inner rival pipes up, don't argue with it. Don't negotiate. Act anyway. Start small if you have to. Write one sentence, send one email, take one walk. Each tiny step is a victory, a punch thrown in the face of fear. Science backs this up. Psychologists call it behavioral activation. When you act despite feeling unready, you rewire your brain to see possibilities instead of walls. Think of someone like J.K. Rowling, who faced rejection after rejection before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon. Publishers didn't stop her, her own doubts could have. But she chose to keep writing, to silence that inner critic with every word she put on the page. What if you did the same? What if you decided that your dreams are worth more than your fears? It's not about never doubting yourself. It's about refusing to let doubt have the final say. Picture yourself a year from now, looking back at this moment. Will you regret staying in your comfort zone? Or will you smile knowing you fought for what mattered? This battle against yourself isn't won in a single day. It's a series of choices, a commitment to show up even when you're scared. The Stoics didn't promise it'd be easy, but they promised it'd be worth it. Because when you learn to master your mind, you unlock a strength no external force can touch. You become unstoppable, not because life gets easier, but because you've learned to trust yourself. So, my friend, what's it going to be? Are you ready to step into the ring and face your inner rival head-on? Because the moment you do, you'll realize the only thing holding you back was you. But here's the catch. Choosing to fight isn't free. Victory always comes with a price, and it's time we talk about what it really costs to win. Victory demands a price. Let's shift gears and talk about something we often dodge. Nothing worth having comes easy. You've probably heard that phrase so many times it feels like a bumper sticker, but let's peel back the layers and face it head-on. Victory, whether it's building a career you love, forging deeper relationships, or simply becoming the best version of yourself, demands a price. It's not just about hard work. It's about sacrifice, persistence, and the willingness to keep going when every bone in your body begs you to quit. The Stoics knew this truth, and they didn't sugarcoat it. They saw life as a forge, where every challenge shapes you into something stronger, if you're willing to pay the cost. Close your eyes for a second and imagine you're building a house. Not just any house, but the one you've always dreamed of, sturdy, warm, a place that feels like you. Now, here's the reality. You don't get to snap your fingers and watch it appear. You've got to lay every brick, hammer every nail, and sweat through the long days when progress feels invisible. Sometimes, the weather turns brutal. Rain soaks your materials, wind scatters your plans. Do you walk away, cursing the storm? Or do you grit your teeth, pick up the next brick, and keep building? That's what victory looks like. It's not a gift. It's a construction project, and you're the architect. Seneca put it bluntly, life, if well spent, is long enough. But here's what he didn't say outright. A well-spent life costs everything you've got. It's the late nights studying when your friends are out partying. It's saying no to distractions that feel good in the moment but lead nowhere. It's the courage to walk away from a job, a habit, or even a relationship that's holding you back. I learned this the hard way a few years ago. I was stuck in a job that paid the bills but drained my soul. Everyone said, "Stay, you've got security." But every day felt like I was betraying myself. Leaving meant uncertainty, maybe even failure. But staying? That was a price I wasn't willing to pay anymore. So I quit, took a leap, and started over. It wasn't glamorous. There were months of scraping by, doubting every choice. But looking back, that sacrifice built a life I'm proud of. Here's where it gets inspiring. Paying the price isn't just about loss. It's an investment in who you're becoming. Think of it like planting a seed. You bury it in the dirt, water it, protect it from pests, and wait. Days pass, maybe weeks, and you see nothing. But beneath the surface, something's happening. Roots are stretching, life is stirring. That's what your efforts are doing right now. Every hour you spend learning a skill, every time you choose discipline over ease, you're planting seeds for a future you can't yet see. Studies back this up. Psychologist Anders Ericsson's research on expertise shows that mastery in any field takes roughly 10,000 hours of deliberate practice. That's not a casual hobby. It's a commitment to show up day after day, even when the results aren't immediate. Let's talk about someone who paid the price. Serena Williams, one of the greatest athletes ever. She didn't become a tennis legend by luck. From childhood, she was on the court, practicing for hours while other kids played. She faced injuries, racism, and moments when the world doubted her. But she kept swinging, kept training, kept believing. Every sacrifice, missed birthdays, grueling workouts, was a brick in the empire she built. What's your empire? Maybe it's a business you want to start, a book you're dying to write, or a family you want to nurture. Whatever it is, it's going to cost you time, energy, maybe even tears. But here's the magic. When you pay that price willingly, you don't just get the prize, you become someone capable of holding it. Now, don't get me wrong. Paying the price doesn't mean burning yourself out or chasing suffering for its own sake. It's about purpose. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor, said, "He who has a why can bear almost any how." Find your why. Why does this goal matter to you? Why is it worth your sweat and struggle? When you're clear on that, the sacrifices don't feel like losses. They feel like stepping stones. So, let me ask you, what's the price you're willing to pay for your dreams? Are you ready to let go of what's comfortable to grab what's meaningful? Because the cost of staying where you are, of letting fear or laziness win, is far heavier than the cost of moving forward. The Stoics didn't just teach us to endure. They taught us to invest in ourselves with every choice we make. And when you start seeing your efforts as investments, you realize something profound. The price of victory isn't a burden. It's a privilege. It's your chance to shape a life that's yours, built with your own hands. But paying the price is only half the story. To truly claim victory, you need to believe you're capable of it. And that's where our next lesson begins. Believe you are a winner. Let's talk about something that can flip your entire world upside down, in the best way possible. What if the secret to unlocking your potential isn't about having more skills, more time, or more resources, but simply believing you're capable of winning? Not in an arrogant, chest-thumping way, but in a quiet, unshakable trust in yourself. The Stoics understood this deeply. Your mind is the lens through which you see the world, and if that lens is clouded with doubt, you'll miss the opportunities right in front of you. But when you choose to believe you're a winner, something magical happens. You start acting like one, and the world responds in kind. Close your eyes and picture a tightrope walker, high above a bustling city. The wind's howling, the ropes swaying, and the crowd below is holding its breath. Now, what makes that walker take the first step? It's not just skill. Plenty of people have talent but freeze under pressure. It's belief. They trust their training, their balance, their ability to keep going even if the rope wobbles. Life's a lot like that tightrope. Every goal you chase, every dream you hold, is a step into the unknown. If you don't believe you can make it across, you'll never lift your foot. Seneca put it perfectly, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. But here's the thing, you won't see the opportunity if you don't believe you're worthy of it. Let me share a story that hit me hard. A friend of mine, Sarah, always dreamed of starting her own bakery. She'd spend hours perfecting recipes, filling her kitchen with the smell of fresh bread and cinnamon rolls. But when it came to turning that passion into a business, she'd freeze. "I'm not a business person," she'd say. "What if I fail?" For years, that doubt kept her dream locked in a recipe book. Then one day, she stumbled across a quote by Maya Angelou. "You can only become truly accomplished at something you love." Something clicked. Sarah realized she didn't need to be perfect. She just needed to believe she could learn, adapt, and grow. So she started small, selling at local markets. Was it flawless? Nope. Did she make mistakes? Tons. But that belief in herself turned her little stall into a thriving bakery that's now the heart of her community. Here's the science behind it. Psychologists talk about this self-fulfilling prophecy. When you believe you're capable, your brain starts scanning for ways to make it true. It's like buying a red car and suddenly noticing red cars everywhere. They were always there, but now you're tuned in. Doubt works the same way, but it blinds you to possibilities. Think back to a time you surprised yourself. Maybe you aced a presentation you were dreading or finished a race you thought you'd never complete. What changed? Somewhere along the way, you decided to believe you could do it, even just a little. That spark of belief shifted how you carried yourself, how you tackled the challenge. Now imagine applying that to every corner of your life. Believing you're a winner doesn't mean ignoring your flaws or pretending you've got it all figured out. It's about acting as if you're already the person you want to become. Try this. The next time you face a daunting task, ask yourself, how would a confident version of me handle this? Then do it. Stand taller, speak clearer, take that first step. It's not about faking it. It's about stepping into your potential. Look at someone like Michael Jordan. He wasn't born the greatest basketball player. He missed shots, lost games, got cut from his high school team. But he believed he could be better, and that belief drove him to practice relentlessly, turning misses into mastery. This mindset takes practice just like any skill. Start small. Celebrate the tiny wins. Finishing a workout, tackling a tough email, or just showing up when you didn't feel like it. Each one is proof you're capable. Over time, those moments stack up, building a foundation of confidence that no setback can shake. So, my friend, what's stopping you from believing in yourself today? Is it a past failure? Someone else's opinion? Whatever it is, it's not stronger than you. You are a winner, not because you've arrived, but because you're willing to keep walking the tightrope no matter how much it sways. Believing you're a winner sets the stage, but there's another piece to this puzzle. Knowing what winning actually means to you. Because if that brings us to our next lesson. Define what winning means to you. Now that you're starting to believe in your potential, let's tackle a question that can change everything. What does winning mean to you? Not to your parents, your friends, or the highlight reels on social media, to you. In a world screaming at us to chase bigger houses, fancier titles, or more likes, it's easy to run a race without ever asking where the finish line is. The Stoics warned against this trap. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nothing is more valuable than your own soul. Don't trade it for external things." If you're climbing a ladder leaning against the wrong wall, no amount of hustle will get you where you truly want to be. Imagine you're hiking up a mountain, sweat dripping, legs burning. The view from the top promises to be breathtaking. Freedom, pride, a sense of triumph. But when you finally reach the summit, you realize something devastating. This isn't your mountain. It's someone else's dream. A peak you climbed because you thought you should. That's what life feels like when you chase success without defining it for yourself. You might hit the target, but if it's not yours, it'll feel hollow, like biting into a candy apple only to find it's plastic. I learned this lesson the hard way. A few years back, I was grinding in a corporate job, chasing promotions because that's what successful people did. Everyone said, "You're killing it. Better pay, bigger office, shiny business cards." But at night, I'd lie awake, feeling like a stranger in my own life. I was winning by someone else's rules, not mine. So I took a step back and asked the scary question, what do I really want? Not what looks good on a resume, but what lights me up inside. For me, it was writing. telling stories that connect people, that make them feel less alone. When I started carving out time for that, even just an hour a day, something shifted. I felt alive again, like I was finally climbing my mountain. Here's why this matters. Defining your victory gives you a compass. It's not about having all the answers or a perfect plan. It's about knowing what makes your heart sing. For some, winning might mean financial freedom to travel the world. For others, it's quiet mornings with their kids, or creating art that moves someone's soul. There's no right or wrong answer, only your answer. Studies show people who align their goals with personal values, like relationships, growth, or creativity, are happier and more resilient than those chasing external markers like money or status. Why? Because when your definition of success is authentic, setbacks don't derail you. They're just part of your unique path. Let's try something. Grab a notebook and write down 3 things that make you lose track of time. Moments when you're so absorbed the world fades away. Maybe it's cooking a meal from scratch, helping a friend through a tough day, or tinkering with a new idea. Those moments are clues to your victory. Now ask, what would my life look like if I made space for more of this? It doesn't have to be grand. If teaching others sparks joy, maybe winning is mentoring a colleague, not running the whole company. If nature grounds you, maybe it's weekly hikes, not a corner office. The Stoics didn't just preach this, they lived it. Seneca reminded us that true wealth is time well spent, not gold piled high. But here's the catch. Defining your win takes courage. It means saying no to what doesn't serve you, even if it disappoints others. It means trusting your inner voice over society's megaphone. Look at someone like Michelle Obama. She could have chased any high-powered legal career, but she redefined success as uplifting communities and inspiring young people. Her victory wasn't about titles, it was about impact, aligned with her values. So, my friend, what's your mountain? Don't worry if it looks different from everyone else's, that's the point. Your victory isn't a one-size-fits-all trophy. It's a life that feels true when you lay your head down at night. Take a moment today to reflect. Write it down, say it out loud, own it. Because when you know what winning means to you, every step forward feels like coming home. With your victory defined, you're ready to take the next leap, committing fully to making it real. Commit fully. Let's dive into a truth that separates dreamers from doers. Success doesn't come from dipping your toes in the water. It comes from diving in, headfirst, with every ounce of your being. Half-hearted efforts might get you started, but they'll never carry you across the finish line. The Stoics knew this, and they didn't mince words about it. Commitment isn't just a promise you make to a goal. It's a vow to yourself, a refusal to let excuses, distractions, or setbacks steal what you're capable of achieving. If you want to win in life, my friend, you've got to go all in. Picture yourself standing at the edge of a river, the current rushing past, wild and untamed. On the other side lies everything you've ever wanted. Your dream career, a healthier you, a life that lights up your soul. There's no bridge, no boat, just the cold, churning water between you and your future. You could wade in a little, test the temperature, and retreat when it feels too hard. Or you could take a deep breath, trust your strength, and swim with everything you've got. That's what full commitment looks like. Not waiting for the perfect moment, but choosing to move forward, even when the current pushes back. Seneca said it best. As long as we live, let us learn how to live. To him, living meant acting with purpose, not drifting through life with one foot out the door. Let me tell you about Jake, a guy I met a few years back. Jake had a passion for photography. His eyes lit up when he talked about capturing moments that told stories. But for years, it stayed a hobby. He'd snap photos on weekends, post a few online, then shrug and say, "I'll get serious later. Work's too busy." Sound familiar? Life always has a way of throwing up roadblocks, bills, errands, that endless to-do list. But one day, Jake hit a breaking point. He was tired of later. So he made a deal with himself, 30 minutes a day, no matter what, dedicated to photography. Rain or shine, exhausted or inspired, he'd practice, study, or reach out to clients. It wasn't glamorous. Some days felt like a slog. But 6 months later, he landed his first paid gig. Then another. Today, he runs a thriving photography business, not because he was born with a camera in hand, but because he committed fully to his craft. Here's why this matters. Commitment rewires your brain. Psychologists talk about goal-directed persistence. When you lock in on a purpose, your mind starts prioritizing it. Distractions fade, solutions appear, and what once seemed impossible becomes a series of steps you can take. But that only happens when you stop treating your dreams like a side hustle for your spare time. Think of commitment as a fire. A spark might get it started, but it's the steady fuel of effort that keeps it burning. Without that fuel, your dreams flicker out. Ever wonder why some people seem to make it while others don't? It's not luck or talent. It's the choice to show up day after day, even when the results aren't immediate. Look at someone like Beyoncé. She didn't become a global icon by practicing when she felt like it. From childhood, she was in the studio on stage, honing her voice and performance, long after everyone else went home. Every Grammy, every sold-out tour, was built on years of saying yes to her vision when it would have been easier to say maybe tomorrow. What's your vision? Maybe it's running a marathon, writing a novel, or being the parent your kids deserve. Whatever it is, it's begging for your full attention, not scraps of effort squeezed between Netflix binges. Now, let's be real. Committing fully is scary. It means risking failure, facing criticism, maybe even disappointing people who want you to stay safe. But here's the flip side. What's scarier than looking back in 10 years and realizing you never gave your dreams a real shot? Commitment doesn't mean you'll never stumble. It means you'll keep standing up, no matter how many times you fall. So try this today. Pick one goal, something that sets your heart racing. Write down one small step you can take toward it. 5 minutes of research, one phone call, a single push-up. Then do it, no excuses. Tomorrow, do it again. That's how commitment turns someday into today. The Stoics didn't just talk about commitment, they lived it. Seneca reminded us that life isn't short. We make it short by wasting it. Every moment you choose to go all in, you're reclaiming that time, building a legacy that's yours. So, my friend, what are you ready to commit to? Because when you give your whole heart to something, you're not just chasing a goal, you're becoming someone unstoppable. But commitment alone isn't enough. To stay the course, you need to master the one thing that steers every choice you make, your mind. It all starts in the mind. If commitment is the fuel for your journey, then your mind is the compass that keeps you on track. The Stoics believed that everything, your actions, your emotions, your entire life, flows from the thoughts you choose to entertain. Let that sink in for a second. You're not just a passenger in your head, you're the captain. Doubt, fear, or negativity can throw you off course, but when you learn to steer your thoughts toward courage and possibility, you chart a path to victory. It's not about silencing every negative voice. It's about deciding which ones get to call the shots. Think of your mind as a garden. Every thought is a seed, and you're the gardener. Plant seeds of doubt. I'll never be good enough. This is too hard. And you'll grow a jungle of fear that chokes out your dreams. But plant seeds of determination. I can figure this out. I'm stronger than I think. And you'll cultivate a life that blooms with opportunity. Marcus Aurelius captured this beautifully. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Your thoughts don't just reflect your reality, they shape it. Ever notice how a bad morning can spiral into a bad day? One grumpy thought snowballs, and suddenly everything feels wrong. But flip that script. Start with one positive choice like gratitude for a new day, and watch how it colors everything that follows. Let me share a moment that changed how I saw this. A while back, I was prepping for a big presentation at work. High stakes, big audience, the kind that makes your palms sweat. The night before, my mind was a war zone. You're going to choke, it taunted. They'll see right through you. I could have let those thoughts win, stayed up all night stressing. Instead, I tried something different. I took a deep breath and asked, what if I do my best, and that's enough? I pictured myself speaking clearly, connecting with the room. Was I perfect the next day? Far from it. But that small shift in my mind turned a potential disaster into a win. Not because the presentation was flawless, but because I didn't let fear steer the ship. Science backs this up. Neuroplasticity shows our brains can rewire based on how we think. When you practice redirecting negative thoughts, catching "I can't" and swapping it for "I'll try," you build mental pathways that make resilience second nature. It's like training a muscle. The more you choose thoughts that empower you, the easier it gets. Think of someone like Nelson Mandela, locked in a cell for 27 years. He could have let bitterness consume him. Instead, he chose to focus on hope, on a vision of freedom and unity. His mind didn't just keep him sane, it changed a nation. What could your mind do if you gave it the same chance? Here's how to start. Notice your thoughts, especially when you're stuck. Next time you're tempted to say, "This is impossible," pause. Ask, "Is that true? Or is it just fear talking?" Then reframe it. "This is tough, but I can take one step." It's not about being Pollyanna. It's about being honest with yourself. Another trick. Visualize success like athletes do before a big game. Picture yourself nailing that job interview or crossing that finish line. Primes your brain to act with confidence. And when doubt creeps in, as it will, don't fight it. Acknowledge it, then act anyway. That's the Stoic way. Not waiting for perfect confidence, but moving forward despite the noise. Your mind is your greatest ally, but only if you take the wheel. Every day, you get to choose what grows in your garden, weeds or wildflowers. So, my friend, what thoughts are you planting today? Because the ones you nurture will decide where your life goes next. To keep those thoughts aligned with your dreams, you'll need something deeper, a sense of purpose to guide you. Find your purpose. Let's pause and ask a question that cuts straight to the heart. Why are you here? Not in a cosmic, universe-sized way, but right here, right now. What's driving you to get out of bed each morning? Without an answer, life can feel like wandering through a fog, taking steps but never sure where they lead. The Stoics believed that finding your purpose isn't just a nice idea. It's the anchor that keeps you steady when storms hit. When you know your why, every choice, every sacrifice becomes a brushstroke in a masterpiece that's uniquely yours. Purpose doesn't just give you direction. It gives you meaning, and that's where true victory begins. Imagine you're a sailor on a vast ocean, no land in sight. The waves are rough, the sky's gray, and you're starting to wonder if you'll ever find your way. Now picture picking up a compass, one that doesn't point north, but toward what matters most to you. Maybe it's creating something beautiful, lifting others up, or simply living with honesty and courage. That compass is your purpose, and once you've got it, no storm can knock you off course. Seneca put it powerfully, "Life is not short, but we make it short when we waste it." Purpose is how you stop wasting it. It's the difference between drifting aimlessly and sailing with intention. I'll never forget a conversation I had with an old friend, Maria, who seemed to have it all. Great job, nice house, the works. But one night, over coffee, she confessed she felt empty. "I'm checking boxes," she said. "But for what?" She was climbing a ladder, but it wasn't hers. So she started asking tough questions. What makes me feel alive? What do I want to leave behind? For her, it wasn't about fame or fortune. It was teaching kids in her community to read, giving them a shot at a better future. She started volunteering, then switched careers to education. Was it easy? No way. But every late night grading papers, every breakthrough with a student, felt like a win. Not because she'd arrived, but because she was living for something bigger than herself. Here's the science. Studies, like those from psychologist Martin Seligman, show that people with a sense of purpose are happier, healthier, and more resilient. Why? Because purpose turns obstacles into challenges worth facing. It's not about having a grand mission to save the world. Sometimes it's as simple as being a rock for your family or creating art that sparks joy. Think of someone like Fred Rogers, the man behind Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. His purpose wasn't to be a TV star. It was to make every child feel seen and loved. That quiet mission shaped every word he spoke, every song he sang, and touched millions. Your purpose doesn't need to be loud, it just needs to be yours. So how do you find it? Start by listening to yourself. What moments make you lose track of time? When you're so absorbed, the world fades away. Maybe it's fixing things around the house, solving problems at work, or laughing with people you love. Those are breadcrumbs leading to your purpose. Try this. Write down 3 times you felt truly fulfilled, not just happy, but whole. What were you doing? Who were you with? What made it matter? Then ask, how can I bring more of that into my life? It's not about flipping everything upside down. It's about small shifts that align your days with what lights you up. Purpose isn't a finish line you cross. It's a way of living. The Stoics didn't expect you to have it all figured out, just to keep searching, keep refining. Some days your purpose might feel crystal clear. Others, it's a faint whisper. That's okay. What matters is choosing to move toward it, even with tiny steps. Because when you live with purpose, you're not just surviving, you're building a life you can look back on with pride. So, my friend, what's your compass pointing to today? What's one thing you can do to honor it? Because the moment you start, you're already winning. And here's the beauty of purpose. It transforms not just your destination, but every step you take to get there. The journey matters more than the destination. Now that you've got a sense of your purpose, let's shift how you see the path ahead. We're wired to obsess over the finish line. Landing that dream job, hitting a fitness goal, or finally feeling successful. But what if the real victory isn't waiting at the end? What if it's in the messy, beautiful, everyday moments of getting there? The Stoics taught us to embrace the journey, to find joy and growth in each step, because that's where life actually happens. When you focus on the process, not just the prize, you don't just reach your goals. You become someone capable of dreaming even bigger. Think of life like a road trip across the country. You've got a destination in mind, maybe a stunning beach or a mountain peak. You could speed through, eyes glued to the GPS, ignoring everything along the way. But what would you miss? The quirky diner with the best pie you've ever tasted, the sunset that stops you in your tracks, the random conversations that make you laugh till your sides hurt. Those moments aren't just pit stops. They're the heart of the adventure. Epictetus said it perfectly. Progress is not about improving what's already done, but about improving what's to come. Every mile you drive, every choice you make, is a chance to grow, to learn, to become more you. I learned this lesson through running, something I used to hate. A few years ago, I signed up for a half marathon, mostly to prove I could. At first, I was obsessed with the finish line. 13.1 miles felt like a badge of honor. But training was brutal. My legs ached, my lungs burned, and I wanted to quit every other day. Then one morning, something shifted. I stopped worrying about race day and started noticing the little things. The way the air felt crisp at dawn, how my playlist hit just right, the pride of running a bit farther than last week. By the time I crossed the finish line, the medal wasn't the point. The real win was who I'd become. Someone who showed up, rain or shine, and found joy in the grind. Science supports this. Psychologists call it the progress principle. Small wins, like finishing a chapter of a book you're writing or nailing a new recipe, boost motivation and happiness more than the big payoff. Why? Because they remind you you're moving forward, even if the destination's still far off. Look at someone like Lin-Manuel Miranda. Hamilton didn't spring out of nowhere. It took years of writing, tweaking, performing one song at a time. He didn't wait for Broadway to call. He poured himself into the process, finding joy in crafting rhymes and stories. The Tony Awards were great, but the journey, those late nights, those breakthroughs, was where he became a legend. Here's how to embrace your journey. Start savoring the small stuff. At the end of each day, ask, what did I learn today? What made me proud? Maybe you had a tough conversation that built trust, or you stuck to a habit for one more day. Those are victories, my friend, and they stack up. Try reframing challenges too. When things get hard, don't think, I'm not there yet. Think, this is making me stronger. It's like lifting weights. The burn means you're growing, not failing. And don't be afraid to slow down. The Stoics weren't about rushing. They were about moving with intention, soaking in every lesson life offers. The journey shapes you in ways the destination never can. That job you're chasing? It's awesome, but the skills you build, the grit you develop, that's what stays with you. So, my friend, what's one step you can take today to enjoy the ride? Because when you fall in love with the process, you're not just heading toward victory, you're living it right now. With your journey in focus, it's time to talk about something we all wrestle with, making every moment count. Stop wasting time. Time is the one currency we all spend, but none of us can earn back. It's slipping through our fingers right now. Every second, every breath, a tiny piece of your life moves into the past. Yet how often do we treat time like it's infinite, putting off our dreams with a casual, "I'll get to it tomorrow"? The Stoics saw this for what it is, a trap that robs us of our potential. They urged us to seize the moment, to act today, because tomorrow isn't promised. If you want to win in life, my friend, you've got to stop wasting time and start treating every day like the gift it is. Picture time as a river flowing past you, steady and unstoppable. Each moment is a drop you can catch in your hands. Use it to build something, to grow, to move closer to your goals. But if you let those drops spill through your fingers, distracted by scrolling, procrastinating, or waiting for the perfect moment, they're gone forever. Seneca hit this hard. Seize the moment. Life is made of the now. Think about it. How many times have you said, "I'll start that project next week," only to find weeks turn into months? I've been there, letting ideas gather dust because I thought I had all the time in the world. Spoiler, you don't. None of us do. Let me share a story that shook me. A colleague of mine, Tom, always talked about writing a book. He had the outline, the passion, even a few chapters drafted. But life kept getting in the way. Work deadlines, family obligations, that endless Netflix queue. "I'll finish it when things calm down," he'd say. Then one day, Tom got a health scare. A wake-up call that flipped his world upside down. Suddenly, someday wasn't good enough. He started carving out an hour each night, no matter how tired he was. That book? It's not done yet, but he's halfway there, and every word feels like a triumph. Why? Because he stopped treating time like a renewable resource and started using it like it could run out, because it can. Science backs this up. Research on procrastination, like studies by psychologist Piers Steele, shows that delaying tasks doesn't just kill productivity. It spikes stress and regret. The more you put off, the heavier the weight of what could have been. Think of someone like Benjamin Franklin, who lived by his famous motto, "Don't put off until tomorrow what you can do today." He wasn't perfect, but his relentless focus on using time wisely helped him become a statesman, inventor, and writer who shaped history. What could you shape if you stopped waiting? Here's how to start. Take 5 minutes today, yes, right now, and pick one thing you've been delaying. Maybe it's a phone call, a workout, or that first sentence of a dream project. Do it. Don't overthink. Don't plan. Just act. Feel that spark? That's what seizing time feels like. Then make it a habit. Try the 2-minute rule. If something takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. Answer that email, make that bed, take that first step. Over time, those moments add up, building momentum that carries you toward bigger wins. The Stoics didn't just preach about time, they lived it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Don't waste time arguing about what a good life should be. Live it." Every second you spend chasing distractions is a second stolen from your future self. So let's get real. What's one thing you've been putting off? What's stopping you from starting today? Because the truth is, time doesn't care about your excuses. It keeps flowing, with or without you. Choose to catch those drops now, and you'll build something extraordinary, brick by brick. But here's a secret to making the most of your time. It's not just about what you do, it's about who you do it with. Surround yourself with winners, not pessimists. You've heard the saying, "You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." It's not just a catchy phrase, it's a wake-up call. The people around you shape your thoughts, your energy, your entire life. If you're surrounded by complainers who see every challenge as a dead end, their negativity seeps into you like a slow poison. But if you choose to stand shoulder to shoulder with people who lift you up, who push you to dream bigger and fight harder, you'll find yourself soaring in ways you never imagined. The Stoics knew this, and they were clear. To win in life, surround yourself with winners, not pessimists. Imagine your life as a garden, and the people you let in are the sunlight, water, or weeds. Some nourish you, friends who cheer your crazy ideas, mentors who challenge you to grow, even strangers whose optimism sparks something in you. Others choke your roots, co-workers who gripe about everything, relatives who doubt your every move. Epictetus warned, Avoid associating with people who do not improve your character. It's not about being harsh, it's about protecting your potential. You don't have to cut everyone off, but you do have to choose who gets your energy. I saw this play out with a friend, Lisa, who used to hang out with a group that thrived on drama. Every coffee date was a gripe session. Bad bosses, worse boyfriends, the world's endless wrongs. Lisa wasn't like that at first, but over time, I noticed her spark dimming. She'd talk herself out of goals before even trying, echoing their "why bother" vibe. Then she joined a book club, nothing fancy, just folks who loved ideas and growth. Slowly, Lisa changed. She started a side hustle, took risks, smiled more. The difference? Her new circle didn't just tolerate her dreams, they fueled them. She wasn't dragged down by weeds anymore. She was growing in sunlight. There's science here too. Social contagion theory shows we catch behaviors and attitudes from those around us. Hang with people who procrastinate and you'll likely delay more. Surround yourself with go-getters and their drive rubs off. Think of someone like Steve Jobs. He didn't build Apple alone. He sought out brilliant minds like Steve Wozniak and Johnny Ive, people who shared his vision and pushed him to think bigger. Your circle doesn't need to be famous, but it does need to inspire you. Who in your life makes you want to be better? Who drains you? Here's how to shift your circle. Start small. Reach out to one person you admire, maybe a colleague who's killing it or an online community with big ideas. Ask them a question, join their conversation, soak in their energy. At the same time, set boundaries with the naysayers. You don't have to ghost them, just spend less time in their orbit. Try this. Think of one goal you're chasing, then find someone who's already doing it well. Follow their work, learn from their hustle, let their success show you what's possible. It's not about copying, it's about catching their fire. The Stoics weren't about isolation. They valued connection, but only with those who elevate you. So take a look around. Who's in your corner? Are they cheering you on or holding you back? Because the right people don't just support your wins, they help you believe you're capable of them. Choose your crew wisely, my friend, and you'll find victory feels closer than ever. With the right people by your side, you're ready to face the next truth about winning, how to turn setbacks into stepping stones. Failure is a teacher. Let's talk about something we all dodge like a hot stove. Failure. Just hearing the word can make your stomach twist, conjuring up memories of missed shots, broken plans, or moments when you felt like you just weren't enough. But here's a truth the Stoics want you to grab onto. Failure isn't the end of the road. It's not a brick wall or a flashing neon sign saying, "Give up." It's a teacher, one that shows up uninvited but leaves you wiser, stronger, and better equipped to win. If you want to claim victory in life, you've got to stop fearing failure and start seeing it as a guide to something greater. Think of failure like a mapmaker charting a new land. Every time you stumble, miss a deadline, bomb a pitch, or watch a dream crash, it's like marking an X on the map. Don't go this way again. It's not about being stuck. It's about learning where the cliffs are so you can find a better path. Seneca said it best. A man who hasn't faced adversity doesn't know what he's capable of. Adversity isn't here to break you. It's here to show you what you're made of. Imagine you're playing a video game, battling a tough boss. You lose the first round, maybe the second, but each fight teaches you their moves, their weaknesses. By the time you win, it's not luck. It's because failure showed you how to play better. Life's the same way. I'll never forget my first big flop. I was 25, pouring my heart into a startup idea, a small online shop for handmade crafts. I thought I had it all figured out. Cool products, a flashy website, the works, but 6 months in, the sales weren't there. Customers ghosted, costs piled up, and I had to shut it down. Man, did that sting. I felt like I'd let everyone down, myself most of all. For a while, I swore I'd never try again. But then I started picking apart what went wrong. I'd rushed the launch, ignored market research, leaned too hard on hope instead of strategy. That failure wasn't a dead end, it was a masterclass. A year later, I tried again with a new project using every lesson I'd learned. It wasn't a blockbuster, but it worked, and I was proud. Failure didn't define me, it refined me. Science backs this up. Psychologists like Carol Dweck talk about a growth mindset. where failure is seen as a chance to learn, not a verdict on your worth. People with this mindset bounce back faster. They don't waste energy on shame. They mine setbacks for insights. Think of someone like Oprah Winfrey. Early in her career, she was fired from a news anchor job, told she wasn't fit for TV. But instead of quitting, she leaned into what she loved, connecting with people. That failure pushed her toward a talk show that changed the world. What if she'd let that rejection stop her? What if you let your last setback stop you? Here's how to make failure your ally. When it hits, don't hide. Face it. Ask, what can I learn here? Maybe you pitched a bad idea. Okay, what feedback can you use next time? Maybe a relationship fell apart. Tough, but what did it teach you about communication? Write it down, let it sink in, then act on it. Another trick. Reframe the story. Instead of "I failed," try "I found a way that didn't work. Now I'm closer to one that will." And don't wait for perfection to try again. Every step forward, even a shaky one, is progress. Failure doesn't mean you're less. It means you're daring to grow. The Stoics didn't shy away from hardship. They embraced it as a forge for character. So, my friend, what's one failure you've been carrying like a weight? Can you see it as a lesson instead? Because every time you do, you're not just surviving, you're building a resilience that no victory can match. But there's one more piece to this puzzle. You don't have to be flawless to keep going, just persistent. Be consistent, not perfect. If failure teaches you what to do differently, then consistency is how you turn those lessons into lasting wins. We live in a world obsessed with perfection. Perfect bodies, perfect careers, perfect lives splashed across social media. But chasing that shiny ideal can paralyze you, keeping you stuck before you even start. The Stoics had a better way. They didn't care about being flawless. They cared about showing up day after day, putting one foot in front of the other. Success isn't about doing everything right. It's about doing something, anything, consistently. That's where the real magic happens. Imagine you're carving a statue from a block of stone. You don't swing the chisel once and expect a masterpiece. Some days you barely chip away a speck. Others you make a bold cut. But every strike, no matter how small, brings the shape closer to life. That's consistency. It's not about grand gestures or overnight transformations. It's the quiet power of small, steady efforts that stack up over time. Marcus Aurelius put it simply, don't worry if you're doing things slowly. Worry if you're not doing them at all. The world doesn't reward the perfect. It rewards the persistent. I learned this through writing. A few years ago, I wanted to start a blog, but I'd freeze, thinking every post had to be a viral hit. I'd write a paragraph, hate it, and quit for weeks. Sound familiar? Then I tried something new. I committed to writing 100 words a day, no matter how bad they were. Some days it was gibberish, but after a month, I had thousands of words, rough but real. Over time, those daily scribbles turned into posts I was proud of, not because I was suddenly Shakespeare, but because I kept at it. Consistency took me further than perfection ever could. There's science behind this. Charles Duhigg, in The Power of Habit, explains that small, repeated actions create neural pathways that make effort easier over time. It's why runners don't just wake up and crush marathons. They build the habit of lacing up every day. Look at someone like Stephen King. He's written over 60 novels, not by waiting for inspiration, but by sticking to a routine. 2,000 words a day, rain or shine. He doesn't aim for perfect drafts. He aims to show up. That consistency turned a kid from Maine into a storytelling titan. What could it turn you into? Here's how to start. Pick one goal and break it into a stupidly small step. Something so easy you can't say no. Want to get fit? Do one push-up a day. Want to learn a language? Study one word. Do it daily, no excuses. Track it, use a calendar, check off each day, watch the chain grow. When you miss a day, and you will, don't beat yourself up. Just jump back in. Another tip, focus on the process, not the outcome. Instead of, I need to lose 20 pounds, think, I'll walk 15 minutes today. It keeps you moving without the pressure of perfect. The Stoics' knew life is a marathon, not a sprint. Seneca said, life is not short. but we make it short when we waste time. Consistency is how you stretch it. Every effort, no matter how small, is a brick in the life you're building. So, my friend, what's one tiny step you can take today? Because when you choose consistency over perfection, you're not just chasing victory, you're living it one determined moment at a time. Now, with consistency as your foundation, it's time to pull it all together and unleash the winner within you. And here we are, standing at the crossroads of everything we've explored together, the Stoic blueprint for winning in life. From choosing victory every day to embracing failure as a teacher, from finding your purpose to staying consistent over perfect, these 13 lessons aren't just ideas. They're a call to transform who you are. The Stoics didn't hand us a rulebook to follow blindly. They gave us a compass to navigate life's wild, unpredictable waves. Victory, my friend, isn't a trophy you'll find on a shelf or a finish line that magically solves everything. It's the person you become, someone who faces fear with courage, who builds meaning from struggle, who lives each moment with intention. Let's take a step back and see the bigger picture. Life is like a mosaic made of countless tiny pieces. Every choice, every setback, every small step forward. Alone, those pieces might seem insignificant, but together, they create something breathtaking. You. The Stoics taught us that the beauty of life lies in how we shape those pieces, how we choose to show up even when the world feels heavy. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts." Every lesson we've shared, believing in yourself, defining your win, committing fully, it all comes back to this. You have the power to craft a life that's yours, one that resonates with purpose and pride. So, as you stand here now, let me ask you, what's one thing you'll do differently today? Maybe it's silencing that inner critic for 5 minutes to start something new. Maybe it's reaching out to someone who lifts your spirit or taking a quiet moment to reflect on what truly matters. Whatever it is, don't wait. The Stoics didn't believe in someday. They believed in now. This moment right here is your chance to unleash the winner within you. Not the flawless hero of a movie, but the real you. Gritty, determined, and ready to grow through every challenge life throws your way. In today's world, where notifications buzz nonstop and comparison is just a scroll away, Stoic principles are more vital than ever. When you're overwhelmed by work, social media, or the pressure to have it all, remember to control what you can, your thoughts, your actions, your purpose. Feeling stuck in a job that drains you? Define what success means to you, not your boss or your Instagram feed, and take one small step toward it. Drowning in self-doubt? Act anyway. Write that email, hit the gym, start that side hustle, because action rewires fear into confidence. Surrounded by negativity? Seek out those who inspire you, even if it's just a podcast or a book for now. And when life feels chaotic, pause, breathe, and ground yourself in the present. The Stoics remind us that life isn't about avoiding storms. It's about learning to sail through them. If this journey through Stoic wisdom has sparked something in you, I invite you to carry it forward. Subscribe to ZenLite8 on YouTube, hit that notification bell, and join our community of growth seekers who are ready to live with purpose. Share this video with someone who needs a nudge to unleash their inner winner. And in the comments below, let me know you're with me. Drop the word mindful. It's a simple reminder to stay present, to choose growth, to live fully in this moment. Let's keep this fire burning together, my friend. Until next time, take that first step and let's win at life, one mindful choice at a time.